Hello and welcome to the MMP Training video. This training session is designed to help you report to the Municipal Measurement Program in Re-TRAC Connect. If you are a state, county, or other regional government agency seeking access to MMP data, please contact us at mmp@retrac.com. I'd like to begin by reiterating what the MMP is and why it exists. The Municipal Measurement Program, or MMP, is a free program assessment and planning tool that provides participating municipal waste management agencies with access to powerful analytical reports designed to measure waste diversion performance and improve programs. The MMP was designed to harmonize the measurement of material management programs and provide municipalities with decision-making tools that can improve recycling performance in your municipality. In this video, we will cover the following topics: navigating the Re-TRAC Connect software, navigating the MMP surveys, highlighting key questions in the MMP surveys, how to save progress, how to complete the surveys, accessing and generating analytical reports, and finally, how to access technical support. If you still have questions after watching this video, please email us at mmp@retrac.com. Now let's begin. As a reminder, once your application to participate in the MMP has been approved, you will receive an email welcoming you to the program with instructions about how to set your password and log in. This is the Re-TRAC login screen. Enter your email to get started. Next, and enter your password. Now, once you've successfully logged into Re-TRAC Connect, you'll be taken directly to the home page. This page displays the programs you have joined, so you should already see the MMP on your home page. Now, before we continue, let's just take a moment to highlight a few helpful features on this page. You can access a tour of the system whenever you see this little rocket ship icon in the top navigation bar. This feature provides a brief guide to the current page. The notifications feature is also accessible from the top navigation bar. Notifications provide useful information about the programs you've joined, helpful reminders, and tell you about new programs in the software. The account menu is used to access technical support, edit account details, and log out of the software. And remember, you can always return to this homepage by clicking the home icon, also in the left-hand corner of the top navigation bar. Now that you're familiar with the homepage, let's navigate to the members page by clicking on the Municipal Measurement Program's program block. Now, welcome to the members page. This page is designed to give you quick access to your members and their respective workspaces. Re-TRAC Connect defines a member as an organization that has joined a program in the software, and since you've joined the MMP, your municipality is considered a member of that program. That means you should already see your municipality listed on the page. For the purposes of this training, we represent the city of Highland Park, Illinois. Now, clicking on your municipality's name will take you to the workspace. But before I move on to the workspace, I just want to point out that you can update your member information, such as contact info, by clicking Edit Member just below. Now let's go ahead and check out the workspace. Welcome to the workspace. Now this page is designed to help you navigate the MMP program assessment surveys. Let's take a moment to highlight a few important features on the workspace before we begin reporting to the MMP. First, you can contact the program manager by clicking Contact Program Manager link right up here in the top bar. You can prepare to report to the MMP by reviewing the program instructions. And surveys, it's important to note, can be presented in 4 different statuses. New means that the survey is available to report. Draft means a draft of the survey response has been saved and can be edited. The survey response, if marked complete, means that it is no longer editable. And verified status means the survey response has been reviewed and verified by the recycling partnership. You may see any of these statuses in gray as well, which just means that that response has been locked and you can no longer edit it. Now let's begin by completing the first survey about your municipality. Click the new icon next to the survey cycle name to begin. Now, all MMP surveys include additional survey instructions with details about the survey and tips on how to complete the reporting process. Survey instructions can be found in the top right-hand corner of any survey. Now, you need to ensure all required fields have been filled out, and required fields are denoted by a red asterisk. In most cases, there will be an option for other or I don't know if the options presented in a question are not applicable to your municipality. In cases where other is selected, there is usually an additional space provided where you can enter more details. This survey in particular collects general demographic information about your municipality and high-level information about the types of waste and recycling programs available to residents in your municipality. This first question is just about the population or the classification of the municipality. We'll say we're a small urban, so an urbanized area, less than 50,000 people. And we'll say we have a population of 29,500. Now, the MMP surveys have been designed to streamline the reporting experience. Depending on how you respond to certain questions, additional questions, sections, and even additional surveys may become available to you. Questions that don't apply to your municipality will be hidden. For example, these first two questions, does your municipality provide curbside collection services to residents? And does your municipality operate drop-off locations where residents can dispose of materials? If you respond yes to these questions, then additional surveys will become available to collect more specific details about how these types of programs are provided. You'll see them on the workspace when we go back. Some dependencies will present just a follow-up question. For example, does your municipality offer residents or businesses a way to divert other types of materials, for example, C&D, electronics, HHW, textiles, etc.? If we say yes to this, then we're asked which of the following material types your municipality offers diversion programs for. And the checkboxes give you the ability to select multiples. And if you select other, there's a text box where you can enter more details. Now, another type of dependency is dependent on which of the options you select. For this question, is your municipality involved in developing or delivering educational and outreach programming to residents? If you say yes, a new section about your municipal education and outreach activities is presented to you where you can provide more information. However, if no, another agency is delivering outreach materials, then the follow-up question about which agency is developing those outreach materials is presented. However, if no, residents are not receiving any educational and outreach materials, all of those questions are hidden and you can continue on to the next section. Now, in the About Your Organization section, we first ask you to identify the biggest waste management challenges your organization faces. The Recycling Partnership and Re-TRAC Connect may present additional resources and tools to address these common challenges. And this information will also inform what kinds of tooling and reports will be most helpful for us to develop for members of the MMP in the future. The next few questions are not required, but just generally about some of the programs you might be participating in your municipality. And finally, you'll be asked to certify that the information provided is accurate and complete. Our goal is to ensure that all data provided in the MMP is good quality. So you need to check the I certify button. And at the bottom, you have the option to save a draft, which will allow you to come back and edit your data at a later time, or you can mark complete if you are finished reporting to this survey. I'm going to go ahead and mark complete. Now we get a confirmation message saying that there are no errors to correct, and we have the ability to mark this survey as complete. Now that we've marked the survey complete, you'll see that the status has changed from new to complete on the workspace. And it is important to point out that since we identified our municipalities do provide curbside and drop-off programs, we unlocked the following two surveys, the Residential Curbside Program Assessment Survey and the Residential Drop-Off Program Assessment Survey. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the Curbside Survey. Now this survey captures more in-depth information about how curbside collection is being provided to residents in your municipality. This survey is divided into 6 pages. You can navigate between the pages using these page number indicators at the top. And a summary of the pages can be found within the survey instructions. Within the survey itself, you may see inline hints, which will help guide you to answer the questions correctly. So this first question is asking what types of housing units are considered single family for the purposes of curbside collection. For example, a row house or duplex might be multi-unit, but if they are provided the same single-family collection service, they would be included in this response. If you don't know how many single families households are in your municipality, there is a link within this Need Help section, so you can get this information directly from the US Census. This number is important as it will be used to calculate your pounds per household, so ensure it's accurate. I'll show you how this tool works. First, you enter your city's name, Highland Park City, Illinois, and you can go to the housing area. The number at the top here gives you a total, but there's more in-depth information once you click the first link. So for the purposes of curbside collection service, our municipality only accepts materials from households that are 3 to 4 units, 2 units, or single units. So those are the ones that I'm going to have to add up. So we have a total of 10,424. So that's what we're going to enter in the number of households, and we're going to select those units that meet our definition. All right, so at the bottom of the page here, you'll see another Save Draft. Now, if you do push this button without completing all of the questions on the survey, it will present you a message that says that you have 2 response errors. If you select Save Draft, you can ignore these errors and proceed to the next page, or you can click Cancel to remain on this page and correct the errors. If you do decide to proceed, you can come back later and correct any errors that are on this page, which is helpful if you are waiting for a piece of information from another department. I'm going to go ahead and correct these errors right before we proceed by clicking Cancel. So now that I have no further errors, I'll be brought to the next page. As you see, the page numbers are displayed above the survey instructions, and the bar below the page number will update to indicate whether there are errors remaining on a page or not. If the indicator below is yellow, that means that there are errors. However, if the indicator is green, that means there are no errors and all required fields are complete on that page. Now, pages 2 through 5 collect details about different types of collection programs and how they're being provided in your municipality. They'll include questions specifically related to curbside municipal solid waste collection, single-family curbside recycling collection, multifamily recycling collection, and organics curbside collection. Now, each program type will be on its own page. The first question here on this page is asking whether all of the households in your municipality are receiving MSW collection, or if only a subset of those households are being served. If you do select Other, you do have the ability to enter how many households are served by this program in particular. But I'm going to go ahead and select All. Additional data about who provides services and how residents opt in will be collected as well. For example, for who provides residential MSW collection services, this question is asking what type of entity does the actual pickup of material. So if you have more than one entity that is picking up material, you do have the ability to indicate that by selecting multiple. There is a definition of all of these entity types as well to help you out. Now, in this section here, depending on what types of entities are picking up the material, this question will ask how residents are opting into those services. And if there are multiple entities providing collection services, then this question will be asked for each entity type. For example, collection services provided by public staff might be automatically provided to residents, so no opt-in required. However, if provided by a licensed or private hauler, they may have to opt in either at a fee or no fee. Now, the other questions on this page are just meant to collect additional information related to how MSW collection is being provided and managed in your area. We have a number of questions where you can provide an exact number if you know it, or you have the option of indicating a range. So for example, if you have a range of tipping fees, this would be a good way to answer that question. Now finally, you will be asked to provide tonnage data. If you know the annual total tonnage of the residential curbside MSW collected in your municipality, you can select yes and provide the annual amount collected. Now, we do know that some municipalities have their curbside tonnage combined with drop-off tonnage. If this is the case, you can select the second option, and depending on what you estimate the percentage of tonnage to be curbside, it will calculate that total for you. I'll just show you quickly how that works. So if 70% is curbside, we would attribute 280 tons to curbside. However, if you do not have tonnage data, you can select no and skip this section. Now, it is important to note that tonnage data is used in analytical reports to provide insights into your municipality's overall performance and recommend ways that you can improve your programs. It is important to provide annual data for residential curbside programs only, not business programs or other types of pickup, so that the data being collected can be compared apples to apples. You'll be asked to provide the methodology and source of tonnage data as an added layer of verification. Let's go ahead and enter some tonnage information here. Now for the next few pages, you will be first asked whether this particular program type is provided in your municipality. If it's not, you won't be presented with additional questions and can proceed to the next page. In the case of residential single-family curbside collection, we'll say yes, this program is provided by our municipality. Now, many of the questions will be similar across pages, but others will be more specifically about the specific type of program on each page. As I scroll down, you see we have the same question about the number of households. You have the ability to select all or a subset. But questions like this, how long has the program been running, are more specifically about the program itself. Again, we have a question about who is providing services and how residents opt in. Next come questions about how the services are being delivered, including information about what types of carts are being used, the collection frequency, if there are any ordinances in place, information about set-out rates, contamination, and finally, the specific materials that are accepted in your single-family curbside collection program. There's a section for paper, plastic, glass, metal, and then finally we have the tonnage area. Now in the tonnage section for single-family recycling, we have the option to just input total tons, or if you have combined, there's the ability to do that estimation as well. There's an additional option here where you can provide tonnage information broken out by high-level material category as well. So we're going to go ahead and enter some tonnage data for our single-family residential curbside recycling, answer the questions about methodology, and save. If your municipality provides a multifamily recycling collection program, then this page will collect very similar types of information as the single-family recycling program page. If not, you can select no and proceed. One thing you might have noticed is at the bottom of each page, there is a text field where you can provide additional details as necessary. So for example, if your municipality does not provide this type of collection service, but you're undertaking a project this year to start, you can put that kind of information here, and it's always good to know. Now, page 5 is about organics collection. So if your municipality provides curbside organic collection services to residents, you'll be presented with a number of follow-up questions about how the program is being provided. Otherwise, you can select no and proceed to the last page. I'm going to select yes. Say all of our single family are eligible. Same type of collection being delivered. Frequency as well. The types of materials accepted. And finally, for the tonnage section, if you don't know tonnage for this program, let's just see how that looks on our analytical reports by selecting no. Now, this last page is simply the section where you certify that the data you've provided is accurate. If there are no errors remaining on the survey, you can mark complete, or you can save a draft if you need to come back and finish it later. It's important to note that surveys must be completed in order to generate analytical reports. So once you have entered all of your data, it's important to ensure that you mark as complete. This will also alert the MMP team that your survey is ready to be reviewed. So now that we've returned to the workspace, you'll notice the residential curbside program assessment survey status has changed from new to completed. I would like to just point out before we move forward that any survey responses that have been saved can be printed or exported just by going back into the survey and using this export link. Now I'll go back to the workspace using this back to workspace link here. And we have one more survey to complete, so let's open up the drop-off program assessment survey to finish up. Now, because not all municipalities collect material via curbside programs, the residential drop-off program assessment survey was developed to capture details from municipalities that also operate drop-off sites where residents can bring materials. In this survey, you're first asked to provide the total number of drop-off sites that are operated by the municipality. It's important to include only those locations that are run by the municipality, not to include private drop-off locations such as supermarkets or thrift stores. Of these sites, we ask how many are staffed, as well as the approximate number of residents that have access to these drop-off sites. In this table, you need to indicate the number of drop-off sites that accept each of these material types. So let's say that all drop-off sites accept residential recyclables, but only half of them accept MSW, half of them accept organics, and then there's a mix of these other types of materials. If any of these materials are not accepted at your drop-off sites, you can enter 0 as well. Now, you don't need to match the total here. You're just indicating how many locations are available for each type of material. So if you have indicated that you have drop-off sites that accept either residential recyclables, MSW, or organics, you'll be presented with tonnage sections very similar to what you saw on the residential curbside program assessment survey. If you have tonnage data available for your drop-off locations, it will also be included in your analytical reports once the survey is marked complete. For this example, let's say I'm waiting for my drop-off site manager to get back to me with the actual tonnage data. So I will need to save a draft and return to enter this data at a later date. So you see it will indicate that there are some required fields that I have to complete. It'll be easy for me to find those later, but I'm going to go ahead and save a draft. This will just bring me back to the top of the page, letting me know that this response has been saved with errors, and I can go back to the workspace. So now you can see that the survey status has changed from new to draft. In this example, let's say that our coworker has just gotten back to us with the annual tonnage data that I need to complete this survey. So to go back in, you just click on the draft, find any of the required fields that have been skipped, and you can enter in your tonnage number and answer the questions about the methodology, just like you did on the other survey. And finally, we just need to certify that this response is complete, and then we mark it as complete. We have no more errors, so we get the success message. Now that we've completed our reporting requirements, it's time to access the analytical reports to turn all this data into insights. To do so, you go to the Analytics page. So welcome to the Analytics page. Here you'll find program performance, benchmarking, and program recommendation reports. Before we generate any of the reports below, it is important to remember that the reports will only analyze data from surveys that have been marked as complete. These reports don't include data from surveys that are in draft status. Now, the analytical reports are divided into 3 groups. First, performance reports are reports that analyze data directly from your municipality and present it in a number of ways. We have a diversion rate for both curbside and drop-off, annual tonnage by program, economic benefits of recycling, and your total pounds per household. Next, we have benchmarking reports. Now, this report will let you compare your municipality's pounds per household recycled to the U.S. national average and gauge your performance. Since the MMP is in its first year, we only have one benchmark report to date, and the goal in 2020 is to expand the benchmarking library based on data that is being collected this year. Finally, we have program recommendations. We know that every municipality's challenges and needs are different, so this report takes the responses you provided in the survey and presents links to TRP's tools and resources to help you improve your program's performance. We encourage you to keep checking this area as we are working with TRP to build in more recommendations throughout the year. Now, to generate any report, all you need to do is click on the report name block. I'll start with the curbside diversion rate. And each report will display a description up at the top, so you can quickly see what kind of data will be presented once you generate. All you need to do is click the Generate button. And once you do, you will see the report. Now, reports may be a mix of charts and tables as well. Each chart or table can be exported individually, or you do have the ability to export the PDF report in full as well. I'll go back to the analytics area here, and let's take a look at our tonnage by residential program. Again, click Generate. Now, on some reports, the charts will let you toggle between views. In this case, we have either column or stacked. And you have the ability to further customize the charts. So for example, we don't have any tons for multifamily recycling. So by clicking on that label, it will actually get rid of the space for that column and just present what is the bars with data. Now the tables below are divided into the curbside programs and drop-off program tonnages. Going back to the analytics area and take a look at the economic benefits of recycling. So this report does not include a chart. It's just a table that shows how your tonnage is being converted into the job creation impact, wages attributable, and tax revenue attributable based on the EPA's REI report, a link to which can be found either in the description or in the footnotes down below. Now on the benchmark report, once we generate that, this report will show you your municipality's performance compared to the U.S. national average pounds per household recycled. Now this number is based on TRP's 2016 State of Curbside report. Again, a link to which can be found in the footnotes. So in this case, we are doing quite a bit better than the national average of 357 pounds per household. Now, once the MMP has been operating for multiple years, you will be able to view analytics for each year that you have participated, and you'll be able to start trending your data, which is a great reason to stay engaged with the MMP year after year. So once again, if you ever get lost, we do have links to contact the program managers in the header here, or you can always reach out to us at Re-TRAC Connect by submitting a support request. So thank you for participating in the MMP. If you do still have any questions about reporting, you can feel free to contact us at mmp@retrac.com.